Hey guys, Zix here. Time for another episode of Minesaga. Today I thought I would do some focus on spawners again, since that seems to be a popular. Show me, show me, show me. Oh, I love that view when it just kind of, whoops, kind of flows up, all lighting up at once. So as I've shown before, I have 121,500 spawners on 3 separate farms. And today I did a little testing on what they make, each one. So this is the one, this is my latest one I'm working on. I'm connecting voids here, as you can see, which I explained in a previous episode. Then I have my first farm here, which has no voids, has just the one void, and all of the hoppers chain into it. And then I have my other farm here, with it's almost completely done. I just have these here that are chained. The rest are solo. So I did 30-minute periods. I tested how much income I made in those 30 minutes. And starting with this farm here, this farm made in 30 minutes 4,264,000,000, which is not bad. This farm here, which is about halfway, not even halfway, done setting up voids. This farm here made 4,691,000,000 over 30 minutes. And then this farm here made 4,752,000,000 over 30 minutes. You know, if you add up all of those, we'll just round up to 4,800,000,000 for, yeah, times 2 times 3. If I got all of my farms up to this efficiency, I would be making 28.8 billion per hour. As it stands now, I'm only making about 25 billion per hour until I can finish getting them all set up with voids. And while I probably don't need any more money, why not, right? So this theory is proven. You want the hoppers, and you want them going from one spot into a void. That is beyond a doubt proven. And that's how you're going to get your max efficiency out of the spawners that you have. Obviously, like I said, I still need to do a little bit more here. And to be honest, I'm going to change. I changed it a little bit. I need to redo that home. See how I drop it farther? I do that because if the loop is too close to where they die, the stacking mechanics of the server, they're going to overstack the loop. So the lapis, instead of a fresh drop coming in, will stack with something that's already going through the loop, and that's not really what you want. You want separate bunches of lapis. So Overflow, right? That seems to be a pretty popular topic lately. It's not too long before you see someone screaming about Overflow in chat. I remember Zimba the other day have a little panic session because he couldn't figure out how to handle his Overflow. Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm going to tell you a couple of secrets. One, poppy filters are worthless. Here's why. When they die, they get automatically sucked up into a chunk. Into a T3 hopper, assuming you have space within the T3 hoppers. Well, if you have a poppy filter, it's not going to make any difference because half of the stuff is already going straight into the hoppers anyway. So what are you really filtering out to begin with? Not to mention the income you get through this loop of these extra resources isn't that much. The majority of what you make is when they die and when they go into the hoppers. So everyone that's all freaking out about Overflow, that's not as important as managing how much goes into them when they die, which is why I have this set up to where the hoppers go directly into the voids. That seems to be, to me anyway, maybe somebody's got something better, that to me seems to be the best way to manage your T3 hoppers. Because they transfer right away, giving them more space, and they transfer into a void, not another hopper taking up space from that hopper. So eventually, I mean, look how many more I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 16, 17, 18. Plus 10, 28. I need 30 more just to finish up this farm. I need about 15 to finish up the other farm, and then what, 120 to do the other farm I haven't even touched, and that's a lot of money. So I might not even bother, but hey, why not? You know, make more money. Also, doing this enables you to have more of these. And the reality is, this is 121,500. I don't think that's maxed out, especially not for this setup. I think I can get 200,000 here, and I'll tell you why. Like I said, with this overflow system, not as important as you think. Sure, it's a nice way to use up this spare waste, but just because you're seeing waste doesn't mean you want to stop adding spawners. It's something I learned last round with Iron Golems. See, look how long this is empty. You'll see now it's going over, so it's going to fill up. But look how long, look at these periods of time that this is empty. That's time that I could add more villagers dying, and allowing more drops. And again, the poppy filters, I mean, I guess if you really want to do a poppy filter, you can. It can't be in the same chunk as the hoppers, but it does need to be close to where they're dying. So with my farm, you would probably need 2 poppy filters. You would want it outside of the chunk, back here maybe, one here, one here. If you really wanted to do it, I'm not gonna bother. I don't think they're that important. Yeah, maybe you will get a little bit more money, but again, this overflow stuff, it doesn't really contribute as much as when they die and they go straight into the hoppers. I guess you could make the theory that this guy, these poppies going over, are filling up hoppers with poppies as they go over, and that is going to detract from lapis falling, but it's such an insignificant amount that you're not even going to see it on your battle updates. You're not even going to see that difference. So my advice is, don't mess with the poppy filter. Keep this fully automatic, because even if you do a poppy filter, you're still going to have to put poppies back into it over time, because they are going to empty out, and that's just extra maintenance, and not to mention extra redstone, which I can't not stand. Yeah. So the next test I'm going to do, now that I know what each of these is making per 30 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and start. I mean, I'm not going to do it now, but it's testing I'm going to do later and then give you the report on. I'm going to go ahead and continue adding spawners, probably to my more efficient farm, which is this one, because I have more of the hoppers set up to accept into voids. I think I have some down here too, yeah. But even with that said, I still want to bring this down a layer, because I think I'm hurting my efficiency just a touch with so some of these drops are going to automatically stack into the loop, because it's 10 blocks. You want to be 10 blocks away for it to not auto stack, and this is less than that. This is like 8 blocks. So some of these drops that are dying, they're going to restack with this already in the loop. And this right here, that's probably... Oh, here it is. This right here, that's probably like... Gosh, that's probably like 800 lapis right there floating around, especially since I'm already stacking up in this. So that's the next step. I'm going to start adding more spawners and then calculating what I make in 30-minute blocks until I get to what I feel like is max. Even with adding these voids, that max would be different if you don't have all these voids. And last I checked, void chests are going for 300 million a pop right now, which maybe that's not a whole lot for me, but someone starting out that doesn't have all this, you can see my that was how I started. One of the ways to get early income is cactus farm, and I could have increased this. I had it schematic. What am I doing? That's not schematica. Here it is. as you can see. I had like what six levels schematic, so I can just stand there and but yeah, I had already, after I had this running overnight, I already had enough money to start an iron golem farm. So this was made useless within one day. But hey, it's a good way to get started. All you need is one T3 hopper and you could handle 3 times this. My original plan was to stand a guy in the middle to load all 4 chunks at once. Because if you stand in the center of 4 chunks, you can load all 4 chunks. A minion cannot. A minion will only load that 1 chunk. But you could load all 4. So I could have made this 4 times bigger and increased by 4. But the amount of time it was taking me to make that, I was already more advanced with spawners, so I didn't need to necessarily. So yeah, that's it. My suggestion to everybody that watches this: don't worry about overflow. Give it up. You want overflow. If you're starting to see overflow, that means you're starting to fill up the hoppers quickly. That means add more spawners, fill them up better. Yeah, sure, throw a hopper loop. If you are able to, at least take the hoppers out of chains. Even if they're not connected to anything. Like I have this guy over here in the corner, he's just chilling, not connected to anything, which really is, I mean, I can make it, what, a tiny bit more efficient. But even if they're not connected to anything, that's better than chaining them. And I know I did a tutorial on having them changed, but I did show at the end of the video this setup here, which is better. Yeah, and of course you learn as you go as well. I learn as I go as well. You learn more efficient ways of doing things. You learn how to make more money, which, you know, am I even? I don't think I am Baltop. No, Endless has more. I did spend about 300 billion in sponges earlier today, so maybe that's why. I think I was Baltop originally. Geez, we got 3 people in Baltop. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Don't worry about overflow. Just keep adding spawners. Put your stuff in a hopper loop. It doesn't have to be super technical. Just put your stuff in a hopper loop. Make sure all your hoppers are in 1 chunk. I can't express that. I have people that watch my tutorial. They build a farm and then they say, "Well, you know, I'm making money." So I go to their farm and then I see that they're centered around 4 chunks. And then I remind them to watch the first like 5 minutes of my video, and they go, "Oh," because you guys are so eager, you jump right into it, which I get. You know, it's exciting, get a farm going, but you're so eager, you jump right into it, and you forget. That's actually the most important aspect, is getting within 1 chunk. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna keep this one short, short and sweet. This is what 121,000, but if you look at all of my farms, that's what 364,000 villager spawners looks like. And yeah, we're going to call it here. I hope I was able to help some of you. And next time, I think I'm going to go over what we do to be on Istop with our sponges, how I do that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.